Hi everyone. I am recording this video after a very long time. Well, in today's video, I'm going to talk about, the confusion that often a lot of our clients have when they're offshoring that whether we should hire reviewers and supervisor or we should just have preparatory or and transactional task that can be done offshore. Or the question is, what is the right time of hiring reviewers? How to hire them, how to build more buying. So these are some of the questions I'll try to address in this video. First, I would like to debunk one of the misconceptions that, offshoring is not just meant for preparatory, non-client facing, basic data entry task. Offshoring can be done, for even high-level work. You can have your offshore team doing high-level work, even client-facing advisory work, complex work as well. Whenever you are considering of hiring a reviewer, these people can be involved in doing high level work. Let's try and understand what are the benefits first of hiring reviewer and supervisor offshore. Number one, it reduces the review time for the onshore partners and onshore managers. I've been talking to the client. I just completed my US trip and I met about 60 of our existing client. And one common concern that came through was that our partners, our senior members, managers, directors are bogged down with the burden of review that they have on their plate. They're overwhelmed and they need somebody at a mid-level, at a reviewer level, who can take that workload off their plate, So once you have a reviewer offshore, a lot of this review work is taken and the review time that they have would come down significantly because the first level review has been done and now they would be doing just high level review. Second more important benefit is it improves the review quality. So when first level review has been done by an offshore reviewer, the next level of review is very high and of improved quality. And you don't have the next level of review is more strategic. Another benefit is you can actually increase the efficiency and the volume, the business and the workflow. So you can actually, when let's say you have 3 or 4 member associate team, and on top of that, you're hiring a reviewer now, you can actually increase the volume of the work that you are doing with the offshore team. You can actually increase the complexity of the work, can push more high level work offshore. So in effect, improves the quality and productivity on an overall basis. Last and fourth and the most important point, according to me, is the onshore managers, directors, and partners can focus on high-level advisory and planning work. Once the first level review has been done by an offshore member, partners are not concerned about, worrying about ticking and tying numbers. They are not involved in that deep review. They now feel more confident on the numbers and hence they can focus on high level review which involves tax planning or which if it's a financial statements or operational reports, how to advise clients. So review in effect completely changes what a lot of coaches and accounting firms want to move to advisory, and this is one of the ways you can really move to advisory services for your clients. So these are some of the benefits, but let us try and understand there are some considerations why you are working with reviewers or supervisors. Number one, people often try to hire somebody as a reviewer directly. We always say that could be one approach, but an alternative approach is you organically grow. You hire a mid-level person, that person does preparatory testing, transactional data entry work, and organically grows. And you can internally promote him. And the process of promotion can be also step by step. You don't need to promote him as a reviewer directly. You tell him that, now you have spent time with us, you've worked with us. What we can do is we can allow you to interview and hire an additional staff member. You have a responsibility to onboard that staff member and basically train that staff member. This way, he also get additional experience of how to manage team, how to review their work. When you go this step approach, even the person who is working with you feels that he's being promoted, his promotion is recognized. Eventually, you give them a position of a reviewer. And when you give them a position of a reviewer, does not mean that he's just reviewing the work done by offshore team. No, he can do preparation work of high level complex task. or complex, engagements, and manage team and review the work done by team as well. So he can play a dual role as well. However, sometimes after building team of associate consultants, you may not be able to find the right guy. You may go for an external hire as well. We at Entigrity really helps firms in getting good quality reviewers and supervisor, and we work alongside with them to integrate them into the system. Sometimes they, instead of building a team, they directly hire a reviewer or supervisor. So you might find challenges in getting an onshore team buy in some cases, because what we have seen is there is some level of reluctance and hesitation. The firms would, I mean, the onshore staff members sometimes would not find comfortable reporting to an offshore reviewer or a supervisor or a manager, or would want their work to be reviewed. We are addressing these challenges. We work with firms and address these challenges. Uh, Essentially, I always say that even if you're hiring a reviewer, which is really solving the mid-level staffing challenge, there would be a level of onboarding and training required. This reviewer joining in first time, they come with experience of working previously on taxes, audit, or accounting, whichever domain you are hiring. But what is really they don't know is specific industries you are working with. What are your processes? What are your client nuances? How you operate? And essentially, what I suggest is if you can document your review and control checklist, this this onboarding and journey would really accelerate. They'll be able to take more work off your plate really quickly. And I can give you a real quick example here, which I have written in the blog as well. For example, unreimbursed expenses usually are not allowed in W-2. You can't take those as a deduction if there are unreimbursed employee expenses. However, if the same taxpayer or client has a side hustle and have a Schedule C, then you can do either of the three things. Number one, directly take those expenses as deduction from Schedule C. Consider this as unrelated business expenses and reach out to the client for clarification, or just ignore it, assuming that the expenses are unrelated, and just move ahead and file the return, ignoring unreimbursed expenses. Now, you as a firm, what would be a typical tax position that you would take? Every firm have different approach, and hence documenting this would help reviewer in understanding, what would be your typical approach. At last, I would say having reviewer by your side gradually would help take a lot more work off your plate. But yes, make sure you start with basic transactional tasks and then eventually grow. Thank you.